Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sean here, and welcome back to another video where we're going to be retooling the Denver Broncos. We're not going to be exactly rebuilding the team because they're already, they just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. So, what we're going to do with this, we're going to start Paxton Lynch for this year. We're just going to try to build up the O-line, maybe get another receiver. And then I did switch to 3-4. I don't know if it's just I don't know what the Broncos' actual defensive scheme is, but I would hope it's a 3-4. But it seems like every time I create a coach, it defaults to 4-3. But Von Miller's definitely a 3-4 outside linebacker. But the defense is still very, very good. We have a lot of pass rushing outside linebackers, so that's the only reason really that I switched to 3-4. But we have some work to do. We need a nose tackle. Maybe some run stuffing, defensive ends, and an upgrade at strong safety because TJ Ward sucks. So I'm going to get going on some trades. So with the first trade here with the Denver Broncos, we're going to be trading, I think his name is Vance, Walker, left end, as well as a third-round pick this year and a second-round pick next year to the Bills for Marcel Darius. He's going to be our new starting defensive tackle. With our next trade, we're going to be sending Russell Okung, Donald Stevenson, and a fifth-round pick to the Chargers for Hunter Henry. With this trade, we're going to be sending Trevor Siemian, Virgil Green, and Sylvester Williams to the 49ers for their first-round picks this year and next year. Actually, no. Next year, it's a second-round pick. My bad. With our next trade, we're going to be sending TJ Ward to the 49ers for their first-round pick next year. With our next trade, we're going to be sending Shaq Barrett, Todd Davis, and a second-round pick to the Chargers for Joey Bosa. So the defense is starting to look really nice, except we now need a second middle linebacker since I traded away Todd Davis. Defense looks really good, though. I don't want DeMarcus Ware to start, but no one's interested in him, so I guess I'll keep him until he retires. Well, actually, he can start, I guess. Need a new strong safety, though, since I traded away TJ Ward, although I suppose I could start Justin Simmons. He could win Rookie of the Year. Actually, alright, I'll see which one is better at strong safety, Justin Simmons or, what's his name, Darian Stewart? Yep. So see which one of those guys is better, probably, and then I'll sign someone as well. And then the O-line is still garbage, unfortunately, so I'm going to explore some trades for that. So actually, we're going to have a slight change of plan. I just went out and signed a whole bunch of free agents to fill in the O-line for this year. Next year, after I stockpile a couple more picks, we're going to go after real solid O-linemen. So this is going to be the team for season number 1. O-line's pretty garbage. Can't wait to see how many sacks Eugene Monroe gives up. But hopefully Hunter Henry will do well. Same with Paxton Lynch. He does have 2 really good receivers around him, plus a solid rookie tight end. This is the defense that we're going to roll with. For now, we're going to have Will Hill at strong safety. And then Justin Simmons is just going to be the backup free safety. But yeah, this is the defense. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the midseason now. So here at the midseason mark, we're sitting at a disappointing 2-6. We do have a rookie starting at quarterback. That's a 72 overall and a very makeshift at best O-line. But the Chiefs are in first in the division at 5-2, and we just got wrecked by the Chargers. So I do have 8 players to re-sign, apparently one of which being Von Miller, which kind of sucks. So, oh god, that's a big contract. Okay. Matt Paradis, DeMarcus Ware obviously is not going to be re-signed. Okay, so I'm going to get going on this and scout and then sim to the playoffs, which I do not think we're going to be. I can't talk. I don't think we're going to make them this year. So here at the playoffs, we of course did not make it. And Paxton Lynch had an awful second half, it looks like. But let's take a look at stats. We ended up going 3-13, so I'm happy we didn't trade our first round pick. Paxton Lynch, awful year, 3,900 yards, 26 touchdowns, 26 picks. Rushing, C.J. Anderson, almost 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's pretty solid behind that garbage O-line. Receiving, we had one 1,000-yard receiver being Demaryius Thomas. 7 touchdowns out of him. Emmanuel Sanders only had 1 touchdown. Marlon Brown, oh my god. If this is the guy that I'm thinking of, shout out to Zach. This dude in Madden Ultimate Team, like 15 or 16? Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, Hunter Henry had a pretty solid year for his rookie year, 5 touchdowns. Not going to complain about that. But blocking, Eugene Monroe, 20 sacks. I really think I need to start a counter and keep record of how many sacks he gives up and see if he breaks it with each rebuild. Yeah, the O-line was trash. As for the defense, Brandon Marshall led the team in tackles with 143. Tackles for loss was led by Von Miller, tied with Derek Wolfe and Joey Bosa. All had 11. Von Miller led the team with 13 sacks. DeMarcus Ware somehow got 6.5. Joey Bosa only 4. Kind of sucks. Chris Harris, though, had 4 picks, which led the team. Aqib Talib had 3, and Brandon Marshall had 2. So let's take a quick look at defensive touchdowns. We had 1 from Brandon Marshall. So now on to awards. I'm sure we didn't win anything. Tom Brady got MVP. Sure, yeah, no Broncos up there. And no Broncos for, Offensive Player of the Year. None for Defensive Player of the Year. Paxton Lynch comes in second to Cody Kessler for Rookie of the Year. I'm going to have to start getting Cody Kessler instead of all these other crap quarterbacks because he seems to win Rookie of the Year more often than not. Anybody else? Hunter Henry came in 8th. Defensive goes to... Who the hell are you, Landon Roberts? I've never heard your name before. You don't even have a face. And this guy won Rookie of the Year. Okay. Joey Bosa comes in 5th. And there's nobody else. All right, so... We don't really have a lot of XP, I assume. At least on offense. Let's check defense quickly. No. Yeah, pretty garbage all around. So let's swim to the offseason. So, going to the offseason. I'll see you guys in free agency. So the first trade that we're going to make here in the offseason, we're going to be sending our 4th and 6th round picks this year, as well as a 6th next year to the Falcons for Tevin Coleman, who's probably going to be our new starting running back. I like Tevin Coleman a lot more than, CJ Anderson. There are still a lot more moves to make, obviously, especially along the O-line, although I do need to see if I signed any more players. I signed Garrett Reynolds and Manti Te'o to very, very team-friendly deals, and everybody else rejected my contract. I probably should have checked my standing on them first, but that's okay. So I think, the biggest thing now, we need a strong safety, and we need O-line. And there's a quarterback in the draft I'm going to take, so I'm not really worried about that. So here at the draft, we do have the 1st and 3rd overall picks, but I'm going to be trading down because there's nobody that I really want to take at number 1. The 3 guys that I want are a little bit further down in the draft order. And actually, I don't really want their 2nd this year. I'll take it next year. So if you haven't seen it yet, I've done this before in my videos. If you start with a number 1 pick, you can kind of trade down spot by spot like this. And you can get the number 2, as well as their 1st round next year and their 2nd round next year. So it's a really incredibly easy way to stockpile picks for the next year. So let's see who they take. Some left tackle, that's garbage. So I'm going to actually keep doing this a couple times just because I need some more picks for next year. So I'm going to do the same thing pretty much. So I'll come back with you guys when I have picked a player. All right, so here at the 5th pick of the draft, I'm going to be taking Marquise Burney, right outside linebacker out of Ole Miss. And he's number 10 in the draft. Not terrible. 79 overall with quick development. I will take it. He seems like he's going to be pretty good. He's got good finesse move, good block shedding. He's got 88 speed, too. Oh, gosh. Okay. So my next pick, I already know what it is. It's going to be this quarterback here, Thomas Howell, who I think we're probably actually going to make him be Patrick Mahomes. And he's 19th in the draft, but he's a 78 overall with superstar development, so I'll take that all day. Pretty solid pick, if you ask me. Now, there is one other guy that I'd like to get. It's definitely not necessary just because of how good our secondary is, but let me take a quick look at how far down the draft board he is. He's got 19. This guy, oh God, he's fast. I didn't even see that. Okay, I'm going to trade up and try to get this guy. So I'm going to be trading up with the Colts for their 13th overall pick. I'm going to be sending them Bradley Roby and Shane Ray. They're both going to be pretty expendable. Roby actually is coming up on his contract year anyway, and I definitely was not going to re-sign him. Let's go ahead and take that corner, and hopefully he'll have superstar. I feel like he definitely will. He does not. He is normal, and he's the 15th best player in the draft. but he is a 79 overall, and he's fast. So, I'll take it. It's an upgrade over, what's his name? Bradley Roby. But that is going to do it for this draft, guys. So, I'll see you guys at the start of season number 2. So, after working some magic, I have transformed our players into Patrick Mahomes, Sidney Jones, and Myles Garrett. Whoops. So, those are the rookies we're going to be running with this year. There are some trades that I would like to make involving a free strong safety and a whole bunch of O-line. So I'm going to get going on that and get back with you guys when I have found some trades. So our first trade is going to be sending a 2nd and a 5th round pick to the Cowboys for Zach Martin. You guys already know I always get Zach Martin in my rebuilds, but I mean, he is pretty much the best offensive lineman in the league at this point, I think. I'm going to be keeping Matt Paradis, pretty sure is how you say his name, but the rest of the O-line desperately needs to be upgraded. Our next trade is going to have us sending a 2nd and a 3rd round picks to the Titans for Jack Conklin. With this trade, we're going to be sending 2 4th round picks to the Ravens for Marshall Yanda. And with this trade, we're going to be sending a 2nd round pick to the Eagles for Lane Johnson, who I think we're going to move him to left tackle instead of Conklin. I was trying to get, what's his name? Taylor Decker from the Lions, but trading for left tackles is ridiculously hard compared to trading for left tackles. Yeah, trading for left tackles is really hard compared to trading for right tackles. So I decided just to go this route and not have to give up as much and still get a solid player out of the deal. So the O-line is pretty much set now. Tight end is set. Receivers, I could do with a better slot receiver. I'll have to think about an upgrade there. Could do with a better 2nd middle linebacker as well, and then I still need to get a strong safety. My God, why do defensive backs have to be so hard to get in this game compared to every other position besides maybe left tackle? With this trade, we're sending 2 first-round picks and a 2nd round pick to the Falcons for Keanu Neal, who is not at all worth all of that, but for whatever reason... Oh, God. Just, Madden, please fix your freaking game. So with this trade, we're going to be sending 2 5th round picks to the Jets for Robbie Anderson, who's going to be our new slot receiver. And with this trade, we're going to be getting another good young tight end in Austin? I think his name's Austin Hooper. For 2 6th round picks this year from the Falcons. Well, we're going to be sending those picks to the Falcons for the player. I'm getting a little backwards there. But our tight ends are very good and very young. The offense is looking pretty good. Defense is also looking pretty good with the exception of Manti Te'o. We just need a little bit of depth. So I'm going to sign a couple free agents, and I'll see you guys at the midseason. So here at the midseason, somehow we're 2-5. This doesn't make sense. Not at all. This is not a 2-5 team. The Chargers are 6-1. Let's take a quick look at stats and see what's going wrong. Okay. Patrick Mahomes is garbage, apparently. Aside from that, so is Tevin Coleman. So are all of our receivers. And O-line's not the best, apparently, either. But looks like the defense is getting quite a few sacks. Not a lot of picks, though, which is unfortunate. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I may just have to go on a crazy spending spree in season number 3 like I did in the last rebuild I did. And I'd rather it didn't come to that, but I don't know why I'm scouting right now. I should have been re-signing players, so I'll go do that. I think I have 2 players to re-sign, and what's this guy? Is this Cody Latimer? Yeah. Okay, you guys are not getting re-signed. So I'm going to do a little bit of scouting and sim to the playoffs where hopefully we'll make it somehow. So here at the playoffs, we do not end up making it. Curious to see what our record is. Mahomes now has 29,000 XP, though, so maybe he actually did something in the second half. Myles Garrett, okay, the linebackers all have quite a lot of XP. We end up going 7-9. We Jeff Fishered this season. Let's take a look at stats, though. Oh, wow. What? Okay. You guys saw the stats at mid-season, right? Patrick Mahomes turned it on in the second half. That's crazy. Okay, 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, 16 picks. As for rushing, Tevin Coleman, almost 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. CJ Anderson had 6 touchdowns as the backup. Receiving, we had one 1,000-yard receiver yet again. Same receiver as last year, Demaryius Thomas. 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Emmanuel Sanders, almost 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. Robbie Anderson in the slot. Very nice year to him, actually. 11 touchdowns. Hunter Henry, not bad. I'd like to see him have more TDs, though. And then as for blocking, we only let up 3 sacks in the second half of the year. So I guess we're a second half team. But as for the defensive side of the ball, okay, I'm liking the sack numbers I see. Brandon Marshall led the team with 142 tackles. Tackles for loss led by Derek Wolfe with 11. Von Miller leading the team with 16.5 sacks. Derek Wolfe with 10.5. Joey Bosa 5.5. Myles Garrett with 5.5. I'm pretty sure he had 5 at the midseason. That's disappointing. Aqib Talib led the team, though, with picks with 4. Chris Harris had 3. And we have at least 2 defensive touchdowns, one from Aqib Talib and one from Darian Stewart. So now, looking at awards, hopefully we won some stuff. Rodgers takes home MVP. There's no Broncos on this list. Any Broncos for Offensive Player of the Year? No. Surprising. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Khalil Mack. Von Miller comes in 3rd. And that's it for the Broncos. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to a quarterback that the Patriots took. Mahomes comes in 2nd. And that's it. I guess that's our only offensive rookie we had. Myles Garrett and Sidney... Well, Myles Garrett comes in 3rd. Sidney Jones comes in 4th for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I guess we didn't win any award. Actually, Von Miller got Best Linebacker. So at least there's that. So here in the offseason, we're trying to be players out here. We're going to be sending Demaryius Thomas, Justin Simmons, and a 2nd-round pick to the Bills for Sammy Watkins. Demaryius Thomas is starting to go down. He is 30 years old now, and Emmanuel Sanders is 31, so I'm going to trade him too. But the team's starting to get old in some places, specifically Darian Stewart and Aqib Talib are both going to be gone. Although with them, I may wait until after the draft, just because there's a certain player that you guys know that I like to get a lot that I want to trade them for, but they're not really budging at the moment, so it's going to be a little rough. But I also want to get rid of CJ Anderson because I'm trying to sign another running back, and it's going to push Tevin Coleman into the backup role. So we'll see what we can do with this. So with our next trade, we're going to be getting another star receiver in Mike Evans. We're going to be sending the Bucs CJ Anderson, Emmanuel Sanders, and a 1st-round pick. So we're going to be signing a couple of huge free agents, one being Devontae Freeman, so that's like I hinted at before, we're going to push Tevin Coleman into the backup role, and then the other being Aaron Donald, so we can now also get rid of Derek Wolfe if I want to. Not sure that I will, though. He's pretty solid, and I may just make him... Actually, he's not big enough to play defensive tackle in this scheme, so never mind. I'm going to trade him at some point as well. Definitely trading Aqib Talib and Manti Te'o. Probably going to go after a big-name linebacker and possibly another receiver. But we'll see. I got to do a little bit more scouting and see if there's anybody in the draft I want to take. So here at the draft now, I've already traded down a couple times. And our first pick that we're going to take is this free safety, Jason Graziani. He's supposed to be a mid-rounder, but we're taking him at 6 here. He looks really good and he's really fast. So hopefully he'll actually be good enough to start. Okay, reached a little bit. Number 19 in the draft, 78 overall though. Only normal development, which kind of sucks. So maybe not. Could definitely be a very good backup. And if I was actually continuing this, he would be really good in a couple of years. But with my next pick, God, this sucks. It's the last season, so I don't want to take guys that aren't going to pan out. I'm going to try to find a trade. Alright, so we're going to get good old Luke Kuechly for our other 2 first-round picks and Will Parks. Well, I finally found a team that was interested in Paxton Lynch, so we're going to be sending Lynch along with a second-round pick to the Bears for Danny Trevathan, who I'm going to try to flip, but I'm not exactly sure it's going to work out. Oh my god, corners are the hardest thing to get in this game, I swear. So the trade I was trying to do didn't exactly work out. So we're going to be sending Aqib Talib, a first-round pick, and Darian Stewart to the Lions for Darius Slay. I think it's literally impossible to get Jalen Ramsey at this point, unless I were to give up like Luke Kuechly, because I tried giving up like Brandon Marshall, and they wouldn't do that. So it's pretty ridiculous in my opinion, but I do still want to get another free safety. I don't really want to start this rookie. I don't really trust a rookie starting in season number 3. So I'm also going to look for an upgrade at the slot receiver position and possibly a backup D tackle, and then we'll get the season underway. With our next trade, we're going to be sending Danny Trevathan, Devontae Booker, and a third-round pick to the Vikings for Harrison Smith. And I don't think I've ever actually gotten Harrison Smith before in a rebuild, so that's a first. What else do I need? Okay, slot receiver and D tackle. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll just go out and get a slot receiver. Not like he's going to be my best receiver on my team, or second best, I guess. But with this trade, we're going to be sending Manti Te'o, a first and a second round pick, to the Texans for DeAndre Hopkins. So we're reuniting some... Well, actually, were they teammates? I'm going to have to take a look. Hopkins, okay, he's a 5-year guy. They may not have been teammates. Or it might have just been... Oh, no, they were. Okay, for at least a year or two. Sammy Watkins and DeAndre Hopkins both went to Clemson. So reuniting them. Okay, D tackle. So we got our D tackle. We're going to be sending the Browns a first, a fourth, and a fifth for Danny Shelton. So the team is really stacked now. I just need a little bit of depth here and there, specifically at linebacker. And we should be good to go. I'll be very surprised if we do not win a Super Bowl this year. Yeah, I think we're good. So I'm just trying to get some depth at this point. I'm going to send a fourth and a sixth to the Jets for Lorenzo Mauldin. So continuing just to get depth, I don't really think you guys need to see this. I'll just show it to you once I'm done. But we're going to be sending a sixth, seventh, and a fourth next year to the Cowboys for Randy Gregory. Also, if you guys don't know, it's incredibly easy to trade for guys that are on the trade block. Just send them a couple late-round picks like that, and more times than not, it'll be accepted right away. Alright, so this is going to be the final team for season number 3. Might be easier if I went into the roster, but if you really want to take a look at it, just pause the video. So we got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, of course. Running back, we got Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. Receivers are just stacked. Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, and Sammy Watkins. The O-line's the same as it was last year. Tight end's the same as well. And then as for defense, the defense is pretty nice now. New additions include Aaron Donald, Randy Gregory, Danny Shelton, Darius Slay, Sean Davis. Who else? Devondre. I think his name's Devondre. Campbell, Lorenzo Mauldin, and Harrison Smith. So this team is really good. I'm definitely expecting us to have a really good record and to go far in the playoffs. So I'll see you guys at the midseason. So here at the midseason, very happy to see that we are 7-0. And, oh man, Patrick Mahomes has a lot of XP already. Fantastic. So let's take a quick, just check its stats. Oh man, 25 touchdown passes, first and 4 picks. Oh my god. It's so lit. Okay, Devontae Freeman is having a really good year too. Sammy Watkins leading the team. Do we have, like, okay, we'll let up 4 sacks. That's really nice. Oh, no, I want to look at sacks. 9.5 from Aaron Donald halfway. Oh my god. Alright, well, since it is season number 3, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the playoffs. Not going to worry about re-signing anybody or scouting. So I'll see you guys there, where hopefully we'll end up going 16-0. So here at the playoffs, I see that John Elway wins Coach of the Year, and we go 15-1. Alright, slight disappointment there in the record, but still 15-1. I will take it. So looking at stats, Patrick Mahomes led the league in touchdown passes with 48. had 4,200 yards passing and 14 picks. Rushing, Devontae Freeman, 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns. Tevin Coleman, 12 touchdowns as his backup. Receiving, Hunter Henry actually came up and led the team in catches with 81. Also had 776 yards and 12 touchdowns. Mike Evans led the team with in touchdowns with 13, almost 1,200 yards. And Sammy Watkins, 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. It's really actually surprising to see DeAndre Hopkins not really do a whole lot. Only 662 yards. As for blocking, Lane Johnson lets up 8 sacks, but the rest of the O-line was superb. Defense was led by Luke Kuechly with 141 tackles. Tackles for loss led by Aaron Donald with 14, and we got a ton of sacks. Aaron Donald led the team with 15.5. Von Miller in second with 11.5. Joey Bosa with 7.5. As for picks, Chris Harris led the team with that, and we got so many picks. Oh my God. Chris Harris had 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys had 2 each, and then 2 more had 1. That's a lot of picks. I'll definitely take that. As for defensive touchdowns, we had 1 from Von Miller, so that's nice. Looking at awards now, I know we won Coach of the Year, did not get MVP. I hate Le'Veon Bell in this game. He wins MVP all the time. But Patrick Mahomes does come in 3rd for the MVP voting, and Devontae Freeman comes in 10th. I already know that we got Coach of the Year. Patrick Mahomes comes in 3rd again for Offensive Player of the Year. Devontae Freeman coming in 6th, and that's it for Broncos. But looking at defense, okay, Dante Hightower wins Defensive Player of the Year. Luke Kuechly comes in 2nd. Von Miller comes in 3rd. Aaron Donald comes in 4th. And that's it. Offensive rookies, did we have any? No, we didn't. We only had that one rookie, and he was a free safety. And he's not up here because I assume he didn't play very much. But we got a ton of XP to spend, and I'm going to go ahead and do that before we get into the divisional round. So here in the divisional round, real quick, before we take on the Bengals, here is the team, most of them being fully upgraded. You guys can pause it and take a look at everybody's overalls if you want. So that was the offense, and this is the defense. So taking on the Bengals, they went 10-6. Of course, we went 15-1. Curious to see what our overall is, and it is a 94. They're an 85. I definitely think that we will be moving on. So coming up on halftime here, we're currently up 24-7, and it's looking pretty good as long as we can play defense, but the fourth quarter just started, so I'm pretty sure that, yeah, this game has been over for quite a while. I want to take a quick look at stats. Patrick Mahomes had a really good game, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns. Okay, never mind. Not as good as I thought. 2 picks. Who picked him off? That's what I'm most curious about. William Jackson and Jamar Taylor. All right. So here in the conference championship, we're going to be taking on the 13-3 New England Patriots. Obviously, I hate the Patriots, so I just hope that we win. They're an 89 overall. We're still in 94. Let's move on to the Super Bowl. So coming up on halftime here, we just took our first lead of the game, but we score again. Okay, now it's 31-20. We get denied at the goal line, and we're up by 7. Okay, uh-oh. Okay, we eke out a win. That got a little close at the end. Quick look at stats. 1 pick for Mahomes this time. Okay, this guy won Rookie of the Year last year over Mahomes. Obviously, who's the better quarterback? The guy going to the Super Bowl and the guy going home. So here at the Super Bowl, we're going to be taking on the 10-6 Seattle Seahawks. And I think they might have been in the Super Bowl last year as well. They're 91 overall. And, oh wait, this is a rematch of the 2013 Super Bowl. How interesting. Hopefully it has a different result. So coming up on halftime here, it's been a close game until just now at the end of the half. Oh man, we kind of blew it wide open right there, but we're up 45-17, and this game is over. The Broncos are Super Bowl champs, and what was the score of, 48? Or 49? No, it's 48, right? Yeah, it was 48. The score of 48 was like 43-8, I think. We kind of flipped the script this time around, which is nice. So we are Super Bowl champs. I'd just like to take a second and see who got MVP. I would assume it's probably going to be Patrick Mahomes or Devontae Freeman. And it is Patrick Mahomes with 5 touchdowns on the day, 1 pick. Damn, what a game. All right, so that is going to be it for the Super Bowl presentation. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'll show the final team here in just a second, although, well, I guess I've shown the team a few times this season, so you guys should know what it is by now, but I guess you'll see it one final time after I auto-upgrade. So, taking a look at the Super Bowl winning team, obviously we got Patrick Mahomes at QB, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman at running back. The receiving core, oh my god, it's just so good. Anyway, if you guys want to see it, pause the video. And here is the defense, so you guys can take a quick look at this. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you have any teams you'd like to see me do next, I think I said this earlier on, I've kind of gotten into like the upper echelon of teams that make the playoffs pretty regularly. So they're going to be more retooling and not overall rebuilding anymore for the most part, with the exception of like the Buccaneers, I think. But yeah, so if you guys have any suggestions, yeah, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And yeah, that's going to be it. So I hope you guys have a great day, and hope you enjoyed watching.